Hello, and thank you for joining Three Questions With. My name is Derek Collins. I'm the Community Engagement Director for Concerned Veterans for America here in Northeast Florida. And joining me today is Mike Fleming. Mike is the Outreach Director for the Stephen A. Cohen Military Family Clinic at Centerstone here in Jacksonville. And hopefully I got that title right. If not, Mike, just go ahead and correct me. But thank you for being here with us today, Mike. And Mike, can you just give us a little bit of your background and what the Stephen A. Cohen Military Family Clinic does for veterans in our community?
Hey, Derek, I appreciate the great work Concerned Veterans for America is doing and your work here in Northeast Florida. It's a great story. Cohen Veterans Network was started by Stephen A. Cohen. He is a billionaire philanthropist, a hedge fund manager, and his son had been at Brown University and then joined the Marine Corps and had a good experience. And when his son got out of the Marine Corps, father asked son what he could do for the military. And his son said that mental health was really one of the challenges for veterans. And so Mr. Cohen started the Cohen Veterans Network. And right now there are 15 clinics across the United States. And here in Jacksonville, we just started one the first part of March. And what we do is we see veterans and military families. We see primarily post 9/11 veterans, military families, and also we see active duty families. Because one of the challenges right now in mental health, not just because of the COVID-19, but one of the challenges we saw across the United States is the mental health and the readjustment for veterans coming back from deployments, from getting off active duty. We have also our National Guard and Reserve personnel are both part of our big clients also. And then what we really wanted to do is look across and see what we could do for that group. And our country's been at war for more than 18 years. We have about 3.5 million women who've served in the military over that time period. And studies show that 40% of returning veterans who come home have some kind of mental health issues and are also not receiving care. And so one of the things we're trying to do is fill gaps in the mental health for this group. And we have a great working relationship with the Veterans Administration. They do a great job, particularly here in Northeast Florida. Dr. Melinda Screws is the Chief Medical Officer. We have a close relationship, not only here with the VA, but across the United States, because the VA is doing some great work. However, some of the individuals may not be eligible for VA care. It may not be convenient for them. The VA may actually have too many people and maybe can't get a quicker appointment. And so we really view ourselves as partners with the VA, certainly in no competition with the VA or actually any other provider that does mental health for the veterans. And Cohen Veterans Network started, and they looked across the United States and they started building out some of the different clinics. And about a year and a half ago, they contacted us here in Jacksonville to find out if we wanted to have a clinic and to do some research. So Jerry Altieri, who's the Cohen Veterans Network Growth Vice President, came down and met with many of our different organizations, the Jacksonville Military Veterans Coalition, City of Jacksonville, our Veteran Services officers, really got to know us. And frankly, they were very impressed, not only with Jacksonville just by the numbers, because they'd done the numbers with the 2 military bases in Jacksonville. We obviously have Kings Bay just over the Georgia line, and then a lot of veterans. And what they did is they looked to see, do you have that kind of number of people that possible clients, but also said, as a community, are you committed to veterans? And the answer obviously in Northeast Florida is a resounding yes. And so they started doing some look at it, and they decided to bring the clinic here. And we opened the clinic last month in March. And we'll talk about it a little bit later, but almost immediately we had to change the way we do business, just like everybody, because of COVID-19.
Yeah, well, that's great. So I remember the excitement at some of the meetings that we both attended. Both the Jacksonville Military Veterans Coalition and the Community Veterans Engagement Board about Cohen Clinic coming to town, and it was great. So. And just a little bit, what was your background before coming into this with the military and all?
Yeah, I've served about 35 years. I was a enlisted Marine and an officer in the Marine Corps, and then actually converted to the Army, very unusual, and then was in the Florida Army National Guard, served about 25 years on active duty, 10 years in the reserve system with the Florida National Guard, and my last position was Assistant Adjutant General for the Florida Army National Guard. So And then
Oh,
I
wow.
retired in 2010, and then have fortunately been able to be active in a lot of things here in Northeast Florida from a veteran's perspective.
Great. Well, thank you, Mike. So, of course, the name of this video, it's three questions with. So, I've got to do the three questions with Mike Fleming now.
I'm ready.
So the first question is, so what need was in the veteran community concerning mental health that wasn't being served here regionally that the Cohen Clinic is designed to meet?
That's a great question. I think one of the most interesting statistics I have found is that even in Northeast Florida, as veteran-centric as we are, as much as the military is part of our community, only 30% of veterans are signed up for the VA health system. So that means 7 out of 10 are not involved with the VA health system. And so if they have needs, the VA can't meet them because the VA doesn't know that they're out there.
Yeah.
And so as look nationally, I'll talk about that nationally first. They looked and they said, how can we fill a gap? How can we be a little bit more responsive in the sense from a timing standpoint? We have a goal. If someone makes a call to our clinic, we try to see them within 7 working days. Okay. We also, if someone's in crisis that day, we see them that day. And we think that is very important. And so that's what we want to make sure that people understand that the Veterans Administration is a great partner. We're a partner of theirs. But we felt like across the United States, there were gaps. And then also, one of the other challenges, frankly, is within mental health clinicians is the knowledge of the military cultural awareness. And, a lot of people want to do great things for veterans, but maybe they don't know all that much about veterans. They really don't know the veterans' experience and what it is to be in the military. And I think that's why we're called a military family clinic. It's really important that we have a cultural awareness of that. Our clinic director, Liz Scher, has a very unusual background, but a great background for where she is. She was actually a signal officer in the Army and retired in 2010 and wanted to do something completely different and entered the mental health field. And so she has she was with the Veterans Administration. She was at our sister clinic in Clarksville, Tennessee as a lead clinician, and now down here in Jacksonville. So Liz has a tremendous background, understanding. Many of our clinicians, our lead clinician has worked at the Wounded Warrior Project. One of our clinicians has also been in the Coast Guard. So we're very fortunate. And we have also within the Cohen Veterans Network and Centerstone, make sure that all the clinicians that we have are very aware of the military cultural awareness. Our office manager is a Navy vet. Of course, I'm the outreach director and obviously a veteran. And so I think primarily to your question, the gap that we feel is specific mental health for veterans and their families, also the National Guard, Reserve, and active duty military families. Because one of the challenges with our National Guard and Reserve personnel, by far the majority of them are not on any kind of duty status for most of the year. Now, right now during COVID-19, we have, I think across the United States, almost 45,000 National Guardsmen mobilized for that. But normally most Guardsmen and Reservists are not on any kind of duty. And so they don't have access to TRICARE or anything. They are out in the community. And then when they have mental health needs, they look and they say, okay, who would understand my experience? Who would understand the fact that, I did a deployment and I came back and now I'm back in my civilian job? Who could I talk to that would really understand that? We've also, we've worked very closely with the Florida National Guard. We have a specific telehealth program for them. I was obviously in the National Guard and know that all the challenges of when soldiers and airmen go for deployments and then come back and they go in different places across the state of Florida and need somebody to talk to about their experience. And we really feel like we can help with that with our telehealth program.
Well, I really like that, you include, not just, only National Guard, because a lot of people are confused about how that works when they're activated and not activated, but also bringing the family into it as well as part of it, So our second question is, during this time, how has the clinic adapted to serve veterans and their families in need of the ongoing COVID-19 crisis?
Derek, that's particularly a great question for us because we opened on March 2nd, and within about 10 days, we had to completely change the way we did business.
Yeah.
And we're doing it all either televideo or telehealth. We use a Zoom platform. We have a specific Zoom platform that is HIPAA compliant to make sure there is a security. But we went immediately to that. And that was something there've been many studies about telehealth, and the efficacy of telehealth is the same as in-person therapy. And but all of our clinicians are involved in that. They're also very, very well trained in that. So do that across the network. It was interesting. In the first 4 weeks, we had a 562% increase in telehealth sessions, because across the 15 clinics across the United States, a handful of them still had some presence in their office, but we really adapted very, very quickly with that. And then for the week ending April 3rd, the Cohen Clinics delivered 1,465 clinical sessions via telehealth, which is a tremendous adaptation across our network. We're very fortunate to have great leadership across Cohen Veterans Network in each of the clinics, and they've all adapted to that. And then for the month of March, there were more than 2,700 telehealth sessions across our network, which that was really a remarkable feat, and it's just increasing. And like everyone in each one of the cities where our clinics are located, obviously they're working with their local governments, but we really feel like it's important, Derek, that we continue to serve this group, because you have active duty families who had actually expected now to be permanent change of station going somewhere else, and all that's frozen. You have the National Guard families with the COVID-19, when their guardsman has gone out across Florida and all the states and working with that. When they come back, what kind of challenges are they going to have from a readjustment standpoint, but also from a health standpoint? And we feel like we want to be there. And one of the things that we really want to do is make sure that we remove all barriers to care. It's not really right now, because of the telehealth, a couple of these things aren't really relevant. But we have, if someone needs a ride to our clinic, we have a relationship, we get them a ride. And we also have with Uber, and then we also have Child Watch. And so we try to remove all barriers for that, because one of the challenges, Derek, is to get someone to take that first step that they need some help. I think, and as a veteran, one of the first things that we do is you go to basic training or you go to OCS, and you're torn down to talk about the team, but then you're built back up that you're almost invulnerable, that you can do anything, because in the military, we have to do a lot of tough things. And the thing we're not necessarily taught to do in the military is ask for help, because sometimes it can be seen as weakness. So across the Cohen Veterans Network, we want to make sure that we are removing all barriers to care.
Yeah, and I love that that telehealth has been embraced. For Concerned Veterans for America, we've fought to make sure that was included in the Mission Act for the VA to expand telehealth, and then our partners, our network partners, America's Prosperity, worked real hard, especially this past legislative session, to expand telehealth in the state of Florida. So I like how it was done that specifically for instances like this. So we're glad that happened. So the final question, Mike, is so folks are going to be watching this video at some point. So, and maybe they're, maybe they need the services that you guys provide, or want to know how more so they can, help folks get to it. So where can someone wanting information right now go to learn more about the Cohen military family clinics?
Derek, that's a great question. The best thing to do is to go to CohenVeteransNetwork.org. It's our website. And hopefully this is seen probably beyond Northeast Florida, but we have, like I said, we have clinics, 15 clinics across the United States that are currently open. But we're also really looking at other places across the United States to serve our warriors and their families. Some of the interesting statistics about who we're serving is that about 50% of our of our clients are family members, and also children. Because one of the interesting things we do, Derek, is we let the individual veteran define the family. Because sometimes it's a veteran, a spouse, children, but sometimes maybe you have a great relationship with your grandfather or your best friend, or any kind of relationship. So we let the veteran define the relationship. And so if there needs to be family counseling, which we do, because we do individual counseling, we go group therapy, we do family counseling, and we let the veteran define that. Also, interestingly, about 28% of our clients are women veterans. That's about twice the actual average of what the number of women veterans are. but we really have a special heart for women veterans, and that we want to make sure we address their needs. They have
Yeah.
unique experiences in the military. Sometimes things happen in the military maybe that will influence them negatively, and we want to be there for them. We work very closely, as you know, with D. Quaranta and Northeast Florida Women Veterans and different organizations to make sure we're reaching out to our women veteran colleagues. And, one of the things we also want to make sure we do is, are we doing quality care? And among our clients surveyed, 96% of them would recommend our clinic to a veteran family member or friend. And so we think we're doing a great job. Obviously, we always want to be responsive, but particularly during this time period with COVID-19, and then really the aftermath, because I think that's where it's going to be very interesting to see once we get back to whatever normal means, then, what are the challenges that individual families will have? And like I said, because we serve the veterans, their families, National Guard personnel, reservists, their families, and also active duty military families, because we feel like each one of those groups has their own unique challenges, and we want to be there for them. And so, as your question was, is really it's to look and see at the CohenVeteransNetwork.org, has everything about the clinics, about the information about how to contact us. Here in Jacksonville, we are very close. We're on AC Skinner Parkway, and the telephone number for our clinic is 904-431-3500. And we answer the phone, and we'll very quickly get you involved with the clinic. And one of the other things I'd say, Derek, that's important is that we have a great case manager. Diane Stover has worked at University of North Florida with their program, military program, which she's worked at Wounded Warrior Project. Because one of the challenges, someone comes in for therapy, if they have some challenges, maybe they don't have a job, maybe they have other healthcare concerns, Diane, for us, can connect them to needed services. And I really think that that's part of it. It's not just working from them from a mental health standpoint. It's how can we help them from their entire, the ecosystem that they're living in, how can we improve that? And we really feel like we can do an excellent job.
Well, that's really great, Mike, and especially what you said about women veterans. I'm, not only my veteran, my wife, she's a Navy veteran, and we learned that that's a population that's vastly underserved, and it's also a population that's growing. The female veteran is growing. So I'm glad you guys have stepped up to help take that need. So, but Mike, I just want to thank you for being here today and taking time to answer 3 questions with us. And I'm going to encourage folks, to check it out. And I'm looking forward to when we're released back out into the wild again, and we can,
actually
get back together,
right?
Actually get together. But I just want to thank you for being with us today.
Well, Derek, I appreciate it. You've been a real force here in Northeast Florida with Concerned Veterans for America. And, as you know, we have a lot of great things going on. We have the Fire Watch, which is a veteran suicide initiative, and a lot of other things. And we just want to do more for our military community.
Agree. All right. Well, thank you guys. And thank everybody for tuning in and watching this. If you have any questions, please, leave comments below and message us, and reach out, and we will get that information to you. So thank you guys, and have a great day.